Imagine walking into a room where no one notices you. People talk over your words. They forget your name. They ignore your ideas. Now imagine walking into another room where people become quiet. They pay attention before you even speak. They respect your presence without you asking for it. They remember you long after you leave. What is the difference? Is it money? Is it beauty? Is it luck? No. The difference is rarity. The world is full of people who are trying to fit in. They follow every trend. They copy every successful person they see online. They speak like everyone else. They dress like everyone else. They think like everyone else. Then they wonder why no one remembers them. They wonder why they feel invisible. They wonder why they never become truly valuable. Think about diamonds. Diamonds are valuable because they are rare. Gold is precious because there is not an unlimited amount of it. The same is true for people. The more common your habits become, the more common your life becomes. But when your character becomes rare, your value rises naturally. Most people believe they must chase attention. They believe they must talk louder, post more, show off more, and prove themselves every single day. But the truth is very different. Truly valuable people rarely chase attention. Attention follows them because their actions create curiosity. They do not beg for respect, they earn it quietly. Today's world rewards speed. Everyone wants quick success. Everyone wants instant fame. Everyone wants overnight results. But the people who build extraordinary lives understand something different. They understand that greatness is built in silence. Respect grows slowly. Character develops through difficult choices made every single day. Today, you will discover 11 powerful secrets that can completely change how people see you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. These are not tricks to impress others. These are principles that build inner strength. When you practice them consistently, people begin to notice something different about you. They may not even know what it is. They simply feel that you are different. They feel your confidence. They trust your discipline. They respect your presence. By the end of this lesson, you may realize that becoming rare has nothing to do with being famous. It has everything to do with becoming the kind of person who cannot easily be replaced. So stay until the end. The final secret is the one that separates ordinary people from those who quietly build extraordinary lives. Let's begin. Secret 1. Become comfortable being misunderstood. One of the greatest fears people carry is the fear of being misunderstood. They want everyone to approve of them. They want everyone to agree with their choices. They explain themselves again and again, hoping someone will finally understand. But here is the truth. If you spend your life trying to make everyone understand you, you will never have enough time to become who you are meant to be. Every remarkable person has been misunderstood at some point. Every person who chose a different path faced criticism. Every person who built something meaningful was questioned before they were respected. Imagine planting a seed. For weeks, nothing appears above the ground. Someone walking by may laugh and say nothing is happening. They cannot see the roots growing underneath. But the tree does not stop growing simply because someone cannot see its progress. Your life is exactly the same. Sometimes people will judge your silence as weakness. They will mistake your patience for laziness. They will misunderstand your focus as selfishness. Let them. Not everyone deserves an explanation. Many people waste years defending every decision they make. They argue with strangers online. They try to convince relatives. They seek approval from friends who have never achieved the goals they dream about. Meanwhile, the truly successful person stays busy building. The rare person understands that being misunderstood is often the price of becoming exceptional. Think about how much energy you lose trying to correct every opinion others have about you. Imagine using that same energy to improve your skills, strengthen your character, or build your future instead. People's opinions change quickly. Your character lasts forever. The strongest confidence is not the confidence that comes from compliments. It is the confidence that remains even when nobody claps for you. Stop asking, "Do they understand me?" Start asking, "Am I becoming better than I was yesterday?" That single question can change your entire life. Remember this. Your job is not to control other people's thoughts. Your job is to control your actions. Some people will misunderstand your dreams. Some people will misunderstand your discipline. Some people will misunderstand your boundaries. That is perfectly normal. The sun does not stop shining because someone closes their curtains. Likewise, you should not stop growing because someone refuses to understand your journey. When you become comfortable being misunderstood, something powerful happens. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You stop living for applause. Instead, you begin living according to your principles. And that is where true freedom begins. The rarest people in the world are not those who are loved by everyone. They are the people who remain true to themselves, even when they stand completely alone. That kind of strength cannot be bought. It cannot be borrowed. It can only be built. And once you build it, no one can take it away. Secret 2. Protect your attention like gold. There is one resource more valuable than money, more valuable than talent, and even more valuable than time. That resource is your attention. Wherever your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is constantly pulled in every direction, your dreams will also be pulled apart. But if your attention is focused on one meaningful goal, your life begins to move with purpose. Look around you. Every day, thousands of companies compete for one thing: your attention. Every notification, every short video, every headline, every advertisement is designed to make you stop thinking and start reacting. Many people wake up with a clear plan, but within minutes they are scrolling through endless content. One video becomes 10. 10 minutes become 2 hours. By the end of the day, they wonder why they made no progress. The problem is not that they are lazy. The problem is that they allowed other people to decide where their attention would go. Rare people refuse to let that happen. They understand that attention is like sunlight. When sunlight is scattered, it provides warmth. But when it is focused through a magnifying glass, it can start a fire. Your mind works the same way. A distracted mind produces average results. A focused mind creates extraordinary results. Imagine 2 students preparing for the same exam. One studies for 3 hours while checking messages every few minutes. The other studies for 1 hour with complete focus. At the end of the week, the second student often remembers more, learns faster, and feels less stressed. Why? Because deep attention always beats shallow effort. The same rule applies to every part of life. Whether you are learning English, building a business, improving your health, or developing a new skill, your success depends on how well you protect your attention. This means learning to say no. Say no to unnecessary drama. Say no to meaningless arguments. Say no to endless scrolling. Say no to distractions that steal your future 1 minute at a time. Every time you protect your attention, you are protecting your future self. People may think you are missing out because you are not following every trend, but in reality, you are gaining something far more valuable. You are gaining clarity. You are gaining discipline. You are gaining the ability to think for yourself. Most people consume all day and create very little. Rare people create more than they consume. Instead of asking, "What is everyone talking about today?" they ask, "What can I build today?" That simple change in thinking changes everything. Your attention is like a garden. If you allow weeds to grow everywhere, the flowers will never have enough space to bloom. But if you remove the weeds every day, your garden becomes beautiful over time. Protect your mind the same way. Choose carefully what you watch. Choose carefully what you read. Choose carefully who influences your thinking. Because your future is shaped by what you repeatedly allow into your mind. The people who achieve remarkable things are not necessarily smarter than everyone else. Often, they are simply better at protecting their attention. Never forget this. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Secret 3. Speak less, observe more. Many people believe that the smartest person in the room is the one who talks the most. In reality, the opposite is often true. The loudest voice is not always the wisest voice. Have you ever noticed that confident people do not feel the need to prove themselves in every conversation? They do not interrupt others. They do not argue about every opinion. They listen carefully. They watch quietly. They speak only when they have something meaningful to say. That is one reason they become unforgettable. Words have value when they are used with purpose. If you spend them carelessly, people stop paying attention. Think about a teacher whose every sentence teaches something important. Students naturally listen because they know every word matters. Now imagine someone who talks non-stop without saying anything useful. After a while, people stop listening completely. Your words work the same way. The less you speak without purpose, the more powerful your voice becomes when you finally do speak. Observation is a hidden superpower. While everyone else is busy trying to impress others, the observer is learning. The observer notices body language. The observer notices habits. The observer notices opportunities. The observer notices mistakes that everyone else ignores. That is why observers often make better decisions. Imagine entering a meeting. One person immediately begins talking about themselves. Another person quietly watches, listens, and understands everyone's personality before saying a single sentence. Who has more information? The listener. Information creates better decisions. Better decisions create better lives. There is another benefit to speaking less. You reveal less. Not everyone needs to know your plans. Not everyone deserves access to your dreams. Some people support your growth. Others secretly compete with it. When you speak less, you protect your energy from unnecessary opinions and negative influences. Silence also teaches emotional control. When someone insults you, your first reaction may be to answer immediately. But rare people understand something powerful. The first reaction is emotional. The second reaction is intelligent. A few moments of silence can prevent years of regret. Many friendships have ended because of one sentence spoken in anger. Many careers have been damaged because of one careless comment. Words cannot be taken back once they leave your mouth. That is why wise people choose them carefully. This does not mean becoming shy. It does not mean avoiding conversations. It means speaking with intention. It means asking thoughtful questions. It means listening so well that people feel respected. Ironically, people often like those who listen more than those who talk more. Everyone wants to feel heard. When you truly listen, you give people one of the greatest gifts possible, your full attention. And while they are talking, you are learning. Remember this lesson. Talking may make people notice you for a moment. Listening gives you wisdom that can benefit you for a lifetime. The rarest people are not those who speak the loudest. They are the ones whose words carry weight because they have learned the value of silence. Sometimes, your silence says more about your confidence than 1,000 words ever could. Secret 4. Become irreplaceable through skills. Many people spend years trying to become popular. They want more followers, more likes, more compliments, and more recognition. But popularity can disappear overnight. A trend changes. People lose interest. Someone new arrives. Suddenly, the attention is gone. Skills are different. Real skills stay with you wherever you go. A person may lose a job, but if they have valuable skills, they can create another opportunity. A business may fail, but if the owner has learned communication, leadership, problem-solving, and discipline, they can build again. Skills become a part of your identity. No one can steal them from you. This is why rare people invest more in learning than in showing off. They understand that every new skill increases their value. Every book they read, every lesson they study, every mistake they learn from becomes another brick in the foundation of their future. Think about a craftsman who spends years mastering his work. At first, people hardly notice him. His progress is slow. His income is small. But year after year, he becomes better. One day, people begin searching for him because his work is excellent. He never chased attention. His skills attracted it. That is how real success works. The world always needs people who solve problems. Can you communicate clearly? Can you lead others? Can you stay calm under pressure? Can you manage your time? Can you learn quickly? These abilities are more valuable than temporary popularity. Unfortunately, many people spend more time decorating their image than developing their abilities. They want to look successful instead of becoming successful. Rare people reverse that order. They work in silence. They practice when nobody is watching. They improve 1% every day. At first, the improvement seems invisible, but after months and years, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. Learning English is a perfect example. One new word does not seem important. One page of reading feels too small to matter. One conversation may feel uncomfortable, but after hundreds of days, that small effort becomes confidence. You begin speaking naturally. You understand more. Opportunities appear that once seemed impossible. Greatness is never created in one giant leap. It is built through thousands of small improvements. Remember this powerful truth. People admire talent, but they trust skill. Talent may open the first door. Skill keeps every door open. Never stop learning. Never believe you know enough. The day you stop growing is the day you begin falling behind. Become the person whose value comes from what they can do, not from what they own. Because possessions can disappear, Skills remain, and people who continue learning never become ordinary. Secret 5. Stop chasing validation. There is an invisible prison that traps millions of people. The prison is called approval. Inside this prison, people constantly ask themselves, what will others think? Will they like me? Will they approve of my decision? Without realizing it, they allow strangers to control their happiness. Imagine living your entire life according to someone else's expectations. You choose a career because others expect it. You buy things to impress people. You stay in unhealthy relationships because you fear criticism. You hide your real personality because you want everyone to accept you. That is not freedom. That is quiet slavery. Rare people break free from this prison. They understand something that most people never learn. No matter what you do, someone will criticize you. If you succeed, someone will call you lucky. If you fail, someone will call you weak. If you stay quiet, people will misunderstand you. If you speak confidently, some will say you are arrogant. You cannot control other people's opinions. So why allow them to control your life? The happiest people are not those who receive the most approval. They are the ones who need the least. This does not mean ignoring wise advice. Constructive feedback helps us grow. But there is a difference between learning from others and living for others. When you constantly seek validation, your confidence becomes fragile. One compliment makes you happy. One criticism destroys your mood. Your emotions become controlled by people who may not even know you. Rare people build confidence differently. They keep promises to themselves. They wake up when they said they would. They finish what they started. They remain honest even when lying would be easier. Every promise they keep becomes another reason to trust themselves. That is real confidence. Confidence is not built by hearing people say, "You're amazing." It is built by quietly proving to yourself that you can do difficult things. Imagine climbing a mountain. No one is watching. No one is cheering. No one is giving you likes or applause. Yet you continue climbing. Why? Because the climb is changing you. Life works the same way. Some of your greatest victories will happen in private. Nobody will know how many temptations you resisted. Nobody will know how many mornings you forced yourself to get out of bed. Nobody will know how many times you refused to quit. But you will know, and that knowledge creates unshakable confidence. Remember this sentence because it can change your life. If you need everyone's approval, you will never have your own. Stop asking for permission to become who you are meant to be. Walk your path. Respect others. Be kind. Be humble. But never allow the opinions of people who are not living your life to decide your future. The rarest people are not controlled by applause. They are guided by purpose. When purpose becomes stronger than approval, nothing can stop your growth. Secret 6. Master emotional control. There is a hidden battle taking place every single day. It is not a battle between you and other people. It is not a battle between success and failure. It is a battle between your emotions and your decisions. Most people lose this battle without even realizing it. They make decisions when they are angry. They give up when they feel tired. They quit because they become discouraged. They speak hurtful words because they are frustrated. Later, when their emotions disappear, they regret what they did. Rare people understand one life-changing truth. Your emotions are real, but they are not always reliable. Just because you feel like quitting does not mean you should quit. Just because you feel afraid does not mean you are in danger. Just because you feel rejected does not mean you have no value. Feelings come and go like the weather. Your principles should remain like a mountain. Imagine you are driving a car during a heavy storm. The rain makes it difficult to see the road. Would you close your eyes and let the storm decide where you go? Of course not. You slow down. You stay focused. You continue driving carefully until the storm passes. Your emotions work the same way. When anger, fear, jealousy, or disappointment enters your mind, you do not have to hand over the steering wheel. You can pause. You can breathe. You can think. You can choose your response instead of reacting automatically. That is emotional maturity. Most people react. Rare people respond. There is a huge difference. Reaction is fast. Response is wise. Reaction is controlled by emotion. Response is controlled by character. Think about the strongest people you have ever met. Were they the ones who shouted the loudest? Usually not. They were the ones who remained calm while everyone else was losing control. When a problem appeared, they searched for a solution. When someone insulted them, they did not immediately fight back. When life became difficult, they did not panic. Their calmness became their strength. This kind of control is not something people are born with. It is trained. Every difficult conversation is an opportunity to practice patience. Every disappointment is an opportunity to practice resilience. Every failure is an opportunity to practice courage. Life trains you every day. The question is, are you learning from those lessons? One of the greatest forms of power is the ability to stay peaceful in situations that disturb everyone else. People expect you to become angry. Surprise them with calmness. People expect you to complain. Surprise them with gratitude. People expect you to quit. Surprise them with persistence. That is how rare people think. Remember this powerful sentence. Anyone can control their actions when life is easy. Character is revealed when life becomes difficult. Do not allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. Protect your peace. Guard your mind. Control yourself before trying to control the world. Because the person who masters their emotions becomes almost impossible to defeat. Secret 7. Create instead of consume. Look at the world today. Millions of people wake up every morning and immediately begin consuming. They consume videos. They consume news. They consume entertainment. They consume opinions. Hour after hour, they fill their minds with things created by other people. Then, at the end of the day, they wonder why nothing in their own life has changed. Consumption feels productive, but it often creates the illusion of progress. Watching 10 motivational videos is not the same as taking one meaningful action. Reading 20 books means very little if you never apply what you learn. Knowledge without action becomes decoration. Rare people understand this. They consume with intention, but they create with consistency. Instead of asking, "What can I watch today?" they ask, "What can I build today?" Maybe it is a new skill. Maybe it is a journal entry. Maybe it is a YouTube video. Maybe it is a healthier body. Maybe it is a stronger relationship. Maybe it is simply a better version of yesterday's self. Creation gives life meaning. Every time you create something, you leave a small mark on the world. Even if nobody sees it today, you are becoming someone different. Imagine two people. The first spends 3 hours scrolling through social media. The second spends those same 3 hours learning English, writing, exercising, or creating content. At the end of one day, the difference seems small. After 1 year, the difference becomes enormous. One person has thousands of memories of watching other people live. The other has built a life worth remembering. This is the power of creation. Creation builds confidence. Because every time you finish something, your mind begins to trust you more. You become someone who follows through, someone who finishes, someone who grows. Many people wait until they feel inspired. Rare people create even when inspiration is absent. They understand that action often creates motivation, not the other way around. Some days you will feel excited. Other days you will feel tired. Keep creating anyway. Small daily actions become extraordinary results over time. Think about a bricklayer building a house. One brick does not look impressive. Neither does the second, or the 100th. But one day, there is a complete house standing where there was once only empty land. Success is built exactly the same way. One page, one workout, one lesson, one conversation, one improvement. Repeat it again and again. Do not underestimate small actions. Great lives are rarely built through giant moments. They are built through ordinary actions performed with extraordinary consistency. Remember this. Consumers admire. Creators influence. Consumers wait. Creators build. Consumers hope. Creators act. If you truly want to become rare, stop spending all your time watching other people create the life you dream about. Start creating your own. Because the world always remembers the builders more than the spectators. And every single day gives you another chance to build something that did not exist before. Secret 8. Keep your biggest goals private. There is something powerful about silence, not the silence of fear. Not the silence of weakness, the silence of purpose. Many people announce every dream before they begin. They tell everyone about the business they will start. They describe the book they will write. They promise the habits they will build. They imagine the applause before they have done the work. For a moment, it feels good. People congratulate them. Friends encourage them. They receive attention before they have earned results. But after a few days, the excitement fades. The work becomes difficult. The motivation disappears. The dream slowly dies. Rare people understand a different approach. They let their actions speak first. Imagine a seed planted deep in the ground. It does not make noise. It does not demand attention. It quietly grows stronger every day. Only when the roots are strong enough does the tree rise above the surface. Your dreams deserve the same protection. Not everyone who smiles at your goals wants to see you succeed. Some people doubt you. Some secretly compete with you. Others may unintentionally fill your mind with fear by saying that will never work or be realistic. Protect your vision until it becomes strong enough to survive criticism. This does not mean hiding everything forever. It means understanding the right time to speak. Speak after you have built something. Speak after your actions have created evidence. Speak when your work tells the story better than your words ever could. There is another reason to keep your biggest goals private. Talking about your plans often creates a false feeling of accomplishment. Your brain enjoys the praise as if you have already completed the task. As a result, you may lose the urgency to actually do the work. Rare people never confuse talking with doing. They understand that progress happens in private long before success becomes public. One day people suddenly notice their achievements, but what they never see are the early mornings, the late nights, the repeated failures, the lonely practice, the quiet discipline. Success always has a hidden chapter that nobody applauds. Become comfortable living in that chapter. Work quietly. Improve quietly. Grow quietly. Then allow your results to introduce you. Never underestimate the power of silent preparation. A bow must be pulled backward before the arrow can fly forward. Your private seasons of discipline are preparing you for public seasons of success. Remember this simple sentence: noise attracts attention. Results earn respect. Become someone whose life speaks louder than their promises. Because rare people are recognized by what they accomplish, not by what they announce. Secret 9. Become unpredictably disciplined. Most people are predictable, not because they are disciplined, because they are controlled by their moods. When they feel motivated, they work hard. When they feel tired, they quit. When life is easy, they stay focused. When problems appear, they give up. Their emotions decide everything. Rare people are different. They become unpredictable in the best possible way. People expect them to stop. They keep going. People expect them to complain. They keep smiling. People expect them to fail after one setback. They return even stronger. Their discipline surprises everyone. Think about the sunrise. Every morning, without excuses, the sun appears. It does not ask whether it feels motivated. It simply does what it was created to do. That is the kind of consistency that builds extraordinary lives. Discipline is not exciting every day. Some mornings you will want to stay in bed. Some evenings you will want to skip your study session. Some weekends you will want to waste your time. In those moments your future is being decided, not by talent, not by luck, but by your next choice. The person who studies when they do not feel like studying gains an advantage. The person who exercises when they feel tired becomes stronger. The person who continues after failing develops resilience. Every difficult decision strengthens your character. Imagine two people planting trees. The first waters the tree only when they feel inspired. The second waters it every single day. Months later, one tree is healthy and strong. The other struggles to survive. Success follows the same principle. Consistency beats intensity. Small actions repeated daily are more powerful than giant efforts made occasionally. This is why rare people create routines instead of depending on motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Routine stays. They decide in advance what kind of person they will be. Then they live according to that decision. When distractions appear, they return to their routine. When disappointment comes, they return to their routine. When success arrives, they still return to their routine. Because discipline is no longer something they do. It becomes who they are. Imagine meeting someone who keeps every promise they make to themselves. If they say they will wake up early, they do. If they say they will read for 30 minutes, they do. If they say they will practice English today, they do. Would you trust that person? Of course. Now imagine becoming that person. The greatest reward of discipline is not success. The greatest reward is self-respect. You begin believing your own words. You stop making empty promises. You stop depending on temporary feelings. You become reliable. Strong, steady, rare. Remember this powerful truth. Average people act when they feel motivated. Extraordinary people act because they made a commitment. Make commitments. Honor them. Repeat them. One day, people will call you lucky. They will never see the thousands of disciplined choices that created your success. That is the hidden power of becoming unpredictably disciplined. Secret 10. Walk away from what doesn't respect you. One of the greatest signs of self-respect is knowing when to leave. Many people stay in places where they are constantly ignored. They stay in friendships where they are only remembered when someone needs a favor. They stay in relationships where love has been replaced by control. They stay in workplaces where their effort is never appreciated. They stay because they are afraid. Afraid of being alone. Afraid of starting over. Afraid that nothing better will come. But rare people understand something that changes their entire lives. Every time you accept disrespect, you quietly teach people how to treat you. Imagine owning a beautiful garden. Every day, someone enters your garden and throws trash on the ground. You become angry. But instead of stopping them, you simply clean up the mess and allow them to return tomorrow. What will happen? The behavior will continue. Life works the same way. People notice what you tolerate. If you never protect your boundaries, many people will continue crossing them. This does not mean becoming rude. It does not mean treating others badly. It means respecting yourself enough to say, "This is not acceptable." Sometimes the strongest sentence you can say is only 2 letters long. No. No to disrespect. No to manipulation. No to people who constantly drain your energy. No to habits that destroy your future. No to opportunities that pull you away from your values. Every no to the wrong thing becomes a yes to the right thing. Many people fear walking away because they think they are losing something. But often what you leave behind creates space for something much better. Imagine holding a heavy rock in both hands. Your hands are so full that you cannot receive a valuable gift. Sometimes life asks you to let go before it gives you something greater. That applies to people. It applies to habits. It applies to old versions of yourself. Rare people are willing to release anything that no longer helps them grow. This includes negative thinking, complaining, making excuses, living in the past. These invisible habits can be even more dangerous than toxic relationships. Remember this. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your time, your attention, or your heart. Access should be earned. Respect should be mutual. Kindness should never require you to abandon your dignity. There will be moments when walking away hurts. You may lose familiar faces. You may lose comfort. You may even lose certainty. But you gain something far more valuable. Peace, freedom, self-respect. One day you will realize that protecting your peace was never selfish. It was necessary. Always remember, people who truly value you will respect your boundaries. People who become angry because you set boundaries often benefited from the fact that you had none. Choose peace over approval. Choose dignity over popularity. Choose growth over comfort. That is what rare people do. Secret 11. Live by principles, not feelings. Now we arrive at the final secret. This is the principle that quietly connects every lesson you have learned today. Most people build their lives on feelings. If I feel motivated, I'll work. If I feel confident, I'll speak. If I feel happy, I'll be grateful. If I feel ready, I'll begin. The problem is simple. Feelings change every day. If your life depends on your feelings, your direction will constantly change. Rare people choose something stronger. They build their lives on principles. A principle is a decision you keep even when your emotions disagree. For example, I will tell the truth, even when lying would be easier. I will keep learning, even when progress feels slow. I will be kind, even when others are rude. I will finish what I start. I will respect myself, even if others don't. These principles become your internal compass. Imagine a ship crossing the ocean. The waves are strong. The wind changes direction. Storms appear without warning. If the captain follows every wave, the ship will never reach its destination. Instead, the captain follows the compass. Your principles are that compass. Life will test you. Some days you will fail. Some days you will feel discouraged. Some days you will question yourself. Return to your principles. They will always point you in the right direction. People often admire successful individuals because of what they achieve. But behind every achievement is usually a set of invisible principles repeated over many years. Honesty, discipline, patience, humility, responsibility, consistency. These qualities cannot be bought. They must be practiced. Little by little, day after day, year after year. One decision at a time. Eventually, they become your identity. And identity is powerful. When being disciplined becomes part of who you are, you no longer need constant motivation. When being honest becomes part of your identity, you stop debating whether to tell the truth. When kindness becomes your identity, you naturally treat others with respect. Your habits become automatic because your principles have become permanent. Never build your identity around success alone. Success can rise and fall. Build your identity around character. Character stays. One day, people may forget your achievements. They may forget your job title. They may forget how much money you earned. But they will remember how you made them feel. They will remember whether your words matched your actions. They will remember whether you lived with integrity. That is true greatness. Final message. If there is one lesson to remember from this entire video, remember this. The world does not need another copy. It does not need another person chasing every trend. It does not need another life controlled by fear, approval, and distraction. The world needs people with character. People who protect their attention. People who keep learning. People who remain calm under pressure. People who create instead of consume. People who work quietly while others seek applause. People who know when to walk away. People who live by principles instead of temporary emotions. Becoming rare is not about becoming better than everyone else. It is about becoming better than the person you were yesterday. It is about making choices that most people are unwilling to make. Every book you read, every promise you keep, every distraction you refuse, every difficult conversation you handle with wisdom, every small act of discipline, every moment you choose courage over comfort is shaping a person who becomes increasingly difficult to replace. Remember this, ordinary people chase attention. Rare people attract respect. Ordinary people follow the crowd. Rare people follow their values. Ordinary people wait for the perfect moment. Rare people create it. Your future is not decided by one big decision. It is built by thousands of small choices made when nobody is watching. So, starting today, choose to become rare. Choose discipline over excuses. Choose growth over comfort. Choose purpose over popularity. Choose action over endless planning. And never forget, the rarest person in the room is not the loudest. It is the one whose character speaks before their words ever do. Thank you for watching. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep achieving one day at a time.